already got 2 cameras.
Same instructions, Brian? Same. Keep it on. It's a full self-report. All right, good evening, everybody. It's a bittersweet time here. As Daddy said, Dalton, you know, the people who are your parents' close friends, and they become not just Mr. Dalton or Mr. Foster, it's like uncle. Yeah. So that was him to us, and we're in Jamaica. Our first time meeting the fellow Myconians that Daddy always spoke about. Of course, we met Freno and then Cinco in Florida, but most of the others who were there, we never met them before, and so it was just a really, really wonderful time. And something about just seeing the Myconians, first in Kingston, and then and the grill, just seeing them the way that they were amongst each other. It was just really, really special. And so after the gathering, first on the Michael campus, and then we had a luncheon, and then that was the first day of the reunion. And then the next day we were to take the Knutsford transportation from Kingston to Negril. And so having just enjoyed just being with everybody for a while, there's something about Dalton and his humor that is just it's so special. It's like
dry.
Yeah, it's a dry sense of humor, but it's like you cannot help but just roll over with laughter. So something, whenever you have a gathering, sometimes there's a particular scene that you capture it from that gathering, and it goes on perpetually. So what happens is that we're taking the Knutsford transportation. Guys, be quiet. Knutsford Express. We're supposed to take it from Kingston to Negril. And what happened is that in order to make it easier on everybody, everybody getting the fare, you have everybody buying the ticket. Instead of each person going up and paying for the ticket and in the reservation, instead of each person doing that, what Dalton did was that he paid for everybody, or for most of the persons. And so so because he paid Knutsford, we were to pay him back for it, just to facilitate the entire process. And so we had a thing where we have the tickets now, and now we're ready to go to the grill. And so we got there now, and so Dalton got the tickets, and everything is good to go. So I went up to him and said, Dalton, you have my ticket? And he's just like, you have my money? And so for the entirety of those several days we were together, just ongoing, just like, you got my ticket? You got my money? Right now if I ask our sons, Nathan or Justin, you got my ticket? They always come back with, you got my money? Yeah. So, So anyway, it's just something just really special for those few days. And so we exchanged numbers, and I remember coming back from Jamaica, I promised that I would, because I took a bunch of pictures. I didn't have all this sophisticated equipment like Brian does. I just had my cell phone. But I took a number of pictures at the reunion and took videos and so on. And so I sent to everybody. And so Dalton asked me if I could just make sure I send the pictures to him. And I did a slideshow. I did a whole number of things. And it just from us corresponding after the reunion with that, and just talking life, and just knowing just about his children, his grandchildren. He tell me of their accomplishments, and it's so wonderful. And then came the pandemic, and he said he has some, I don't know if his friends or family in South Florida, but he said that after the pandemic, as soon as it subsides, he's gonna take a trip to Florida. And I said, listen, all I ask is that we have at least one night with you hosting at the house, because he's just like a second father to us. Just really, really, really special. And so when I heard of his untimely passing, I was just
devastated.
I was devastated. It was really, you look forward to just spending time in a different setting. And we know that the Lord does all things well, and He's a really dear soul. Just met him in person that one time, but he just stood out significantly. And so I told Daddy, I'm an accountant, right? And so tax season was very busy. I told Daddy.
Don't hold that against him.
Yeah. I told Daddy that provided that this event, whenever it is, provided that it's after the tax deadline, no matter when it is, I'll be here. And so it's a joy and a privilege to get to meet the family. I mean, he's talking about the grandchildren. When David got this scholarship to Cal Berkeley, he sent me an article about it, and which I pulled up on my phone and showed Sophia earlier. So he's just so proud. And you know, as I just got to know him as I did, you know, one-on-one. But then when I watched his service that Saturday, you know, a few months ago, I was at my office, and I just, you know, you just heard different tributes and things that were said of him, and the lives that he impacted in New York, and the lives
Bahamas.
Bahamas, and I mean, I was just like, wow, you know, because I just got to know him, you know, one-on-one, but I didn't know his tentacles, if you will, were so far-reaching. He's just really awesome. I just say, you know, the Apostle Paul said to Timothy, be steadfast and immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain. And surely his labor is not in vain. He's physically no longer with us, but his spirit lives on in Andy, in your family, and, you know, extended blood family, and as well to others whose lives he's impacted. And I'm just so privileged that with that Binley, and that the boys got to meet him and just got to spend some precious time in Jamaica. And you know, his humor, you just have to know Dalton the way that we did, and it's just really special. Thank God that I do have a series of videos that I keep on my phone of when just him in action. One last thing I'll say before I get done, before I'm finished, is that their batchmates, Dalton Forbes, he was not at the reunion, but his daughter was able to bring him by the hotel that one time before the reunion was done, and he came by the hotel, and then, you know, everybody was just there, just interacting with him. And Dalton, I don't know whose idea it was, but Dalton was the first one I heard speak of it, that they wanted to take up like a collection or some type of thing to give to Dalton Forbes. And so Dalton was the one orchestrating all that. And then when it was done, it was Dalton who made the presentation to Dalton Forbes, and just the way that he did, I mean, just, and I couldn't put it into words like the way he did. I have it on my phone, and just to see the care, the compassion, that's just the essence of who he is. He said, I mean, I knew him for a very short period of time, but the way that he gave, and the way that he cared, and the way he was thinking so much of others, that he would sacrifice and give so much more to others than for himself. And so now in his absence, I think it's such a fitting tribute that so much is coming back to him, because he planted a number of seeds over a number of years, and those seeds have grown and they're bearing fruit in so many others. And just for those, several of you didn't get to meet him, but I just get to say that as wonderful as Andy might be, as you interact with him now, his father is
Where did I come from?
It gets better.
Yeah. As wonderful as I mean, his father is just like, you know, it's just a reflection of who his father was. And so may God bless his soul, and it's an absolute pleasure, privilege meeting you and your family, and just know that because he was, I consider him a father figure, so you have no choice, but I'm now your brother. So may God richly bless you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you, Roderick.